When you are in the process of factorizing, the first step is always to consider or to see if you can find the greatest common factor. So you see two different examples here. The first example, example A, we look to see what factors they share in common. First, we look at the constants or the coefficients. Each of these coefficients contains the factor 6. Then you look at the variables. So the variables contained are x and y. And the lowest, or sorry, the greatest common factor in this instance is just for x is just x. But then for y, the greatest common factor is y to the power 4. We extract those out and we decipher what remains. When I extract 6xy to the power 4, I'm left with 2x squared with the first term. With the second term, I'm left with 4xy. And with the third term, I'm left with 3y squared, giving me a final result. And I can write it out, 6xy to the power 4, and then put in parentheses 2x squared minus 4xy plus 3y squared. Now, if you take a look at the second example, this is a unique case. The common factor in this case, because what we have are two binomials that you could expand and then try to factorize, or you can identify that 4x plus 3 is contained in both. And since there's multiplication between the two binomials in both cases separated by subtraction, we can decipher that the binomial factor is 4x plus 3. We factor out 4x plus 3, and we're just left with the other binomial for each. In the first case, it's 6x minus 5 and 3x minus 7. Once we do that, we can also go further and simplify. Once we extract out the 4x plus 3, then we can simplify, and we know that 6x minus 3x is 3x, and negative 5 minus negative 7 is positive 2, giving us our final result, which is a binomial, 4x plus 3 times 3x plus 2. Now, once again, from the worksheet, here are a couple of examples. The first example, 8x squared plus 12x minus 40. I need to first look at my coefficients and my constant of 40. I consider that each of these is divisible by 2. Each of these is also divisible by 4. So the greatest common factor for the constants is 4. I realize that there's only two terms containing the variable x. One is x squared and one is x, but the other one is simply a constant. So we can only factor out the value 4. So what that leaves me with the first term is 2x squared. The second term, still positive, and it's 3x. And then the final term, which is 40, if I divide out of 4, I'm left with negative 10. Now, if we look at our second example, both of these terms are divisible by negative 6. So I'm going to factor out that negative. Both of these terms also contain a negative y. The greatest common factor of y is just y. So then what I am left with is y squared for the first term, or just y for the first term. And now the sign is going to change also for the second one. It becomes addition, and it's 9.